So Zimbabwe is the home of the ancient Semitics, and when I say ancient Semitics, I'm referring to specifically Canaanites, Phoenicians, which are one and the same thing, and the Hebrews also one and the same thing. So if we go back through historical text, going back to the 1700s or even 1500s, there has been proof that Zimbabwe has what we call the last caste of the ancient Semitics, and this was proven through, like I said, historical texts and through architecture of the ruins, and also the culture, the customs found within Zimbabwe. Mr. Courtney Salou, who was, I guess, a missionary back in the 1800s, I keep saying 1800s like I was there, but Mr. Courtney Salou, when he visited this part of Africa, Zimbabwe, he concluded that the people that he's seeing, it wasn't all of them. There were specific people with specific features, light skin tone, high cheekbones, thin lips, even the hair was different. It wasn't Negroid-like or Kefir-like as what white people like to classify the blackness. Through his words, he said that these people are the worshippers of Baal or Baal. Now, who's Baal? Baal is a Canaanite god that was worshipped. They made sacrifices to Baal. Other proof is, if you look at the ruins that we have, all of them, they're pretty much Phoenician architecture. The way they're built with no, just brick and mortar, with no cement. The same type of buildings or the same type of architecture is found in countries where the Phoenicians, Canaanites used to live, their colonies. For example, Sardinia, Malta. Wherever you find these ruins, there was most likely Phoenician influence. The descendants themselves of these ancient Semitics still exist. And like I said, the last caste of these Phoenicians are found here. I myself am a defendant, I guess a defendant, but a descendant of the Phoenicians. How do I know that? I know that through my features. I just know that through, hey, I'm living in Zimbabwe, but how come I'm a little bit different than others? How come there's just this difference that you notice? And my grandfather would say the same thing too. But the point of this is to show that this is the history that was taken away from the people of this place. They excavated very important artifacts, information, remains that would link Zimbabweans or the Shona people or the descendants of the Phoenicians to their origins. I spoke with a descendant of the Neander family who is also on the YouTube, what do you call that, thumbnail. Let's call him Moyo Muturikwa because that's his totem. He also says that the history that I am talking about is in line with what he grew up hearing. He also confirmed that this place, or this land, the people came from the sea people. These are the people that civilized this part of Africa. And just like I said, Mr. Courtney Salou said that the people that is seeing in Zimbabwe are the descendants of the worshippers of Baal. Baal being a Canaanite god who was at one point an actual human being. So there's Baal. And then there's also Ashtarte. Ashtarte is the consort or wife of Baal. Like I said, these are Baal, Ashtarte, they were people at one point. They were the Jesuses of their time. They were the gods of their time. So that's why they were worshipped. That's why sacrifices were made to them. Which is why in Shona culture, you still find that the concept of sacrifices is still prominent. You find that in February, they make sacrifices to even like dead kings. They make sacrifices of black cows or black bulls. This is a tradition of these ancient Semitics. So Ashtarte, who's also a Phoenician goddess of war, goddess of love, I believe. Her symbol is the Zimbabwe bird. That Zimbabwe bird that we see is actually something that, not something, but it was a symbol that was used by the Canaanite Phoenicians. That's why Cecil John Rhodes wanted it so much, because it has so much influence and meaning to them, but not to us. or the descendants of these Phoenicians, because we've forgotten. And not only that we've forgotten, but my ancestors they would be hunted down. They would be hunted down by people, I guess. Let's call them people, because they did not want for people like I or mepo kana kuti vanhu vanebva from those lineages, because kunzi munhu ane mepo kana kunzi chi you'd have to be a descendant of those lineages. Anditi mazvona. So even the white folks too, the British, they were the ones that really cemented the death or the killing of these ancient Semitics. And these ancient Semitics were found to be like spirit mediums, because they're very much advanced mentally. So there would be spirit medium, or let's call it a day right there.